Ciao everybody, and welcome back to Evil Gem Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth plus live stream with Jacob Cloud. Hello again.
Hello.
And where the hell have you been? Czech Republic?
Yeah, among other things. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Guess what? So was I.
Yeah.
Oh.
I kind of did know that, you know.
And for people's information, we weren't there at the same time. We we were in different hotels.
Because we don't like each other. And
but yet still we went to meet each other's secretly for booze for some reason. I don't know why, because I'm not a booze person.
Yeah. But I am, so.
Why do we always have to do what you like? But guess I just can't stop thinking about you and so on.
And I can't stop thinking about booze. I guess that's
Here
called
we
about alcoholism.
Yeah, that's called alcoholism.
Yeah, that's it.
This is where we actually see who's the clingy one. But hey, let's talk about something else than our mental flaws and whatnot. First, few topics that I didn't attend to last time because we were having a crazy time and we just lost the control of what the hell we were talking about and so on. So two things, which now I remember. One thing is I'm gonna say that up straight right now. The Logan movie.
Yes.
The new one. We have this new character. Well, new. Hey, X32. Not so new for us at least.
23. But
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
23. Oh, Jim Carrey's gonna be so pissed off. Case 23. She was a kid, right?
yeah.
Yeah. According to comic books, what I've read, she's not a kid.
No, she's not.
Yeah. But yet in this movie, they took some liberties of selecting a child actor, and it worked out just fine.
She wasn't
wrong. Nothing wrong at all.
No. She wasn't nowhere near as annoying as child actors often are. But
I
like the character.
Yeah, same thing with Steven Spielberg's production. What was it? Eight, whatever. That had really good child actors also.
I actually haven't seen that one.
I truly recommend that, and they had like 5-6 child actors who definitely weren't annoying at all. Highly recommend it. Fuck.
What was the name of the movie?
Because
I only can remember 8 Sense, but I think it's a Netflix series.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And Hateful Eight is a Quentin Tarantino movie.
You know what? We're gonna do the thing again.
Yeah. We have the internet, right?
We have the internet. So Steven.
So we don't have to remember anything.
Child movie. Child actor movie.
Why didn't you just put that 8 in the Google?
Oh, that's right. 8. Super 8. Super 8. Super 8.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Yeah. It's I can't tell why they call it Super 8 because otherwise it would spoil some things. But then again, it's the number 8. Super 8 doesn't really have to do with anything with the whole. Well, there is a catch, but not a big one.
Okay.
But anyways, the child actor, good one, and lots of
definitely.
Yeah, lots of aggression and people were shouting and ripping each other's apart, and what you definitely would expect from those two.
Yeah.
But this made me think something. The kid she had adamantium claws, like Logan had.
Yeah.
Yeah, and adamantium, as we know, doesn't really adjust its form after it has been solidified and so on. You do realize that the kid is still in middle of puberty and probably haven't, grown up yet.
Yeah, you have a point.
I have a really good point, and I can already imagine how freaking painful her teen years are gonna be. That's gonna be like I don't know, like menstrual cycles pain times 100 or something like that. It's over 9,000. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I actually think it's not the only logical problem the movie had, but I guess we can't discuss it since we didn't warn about spoilers and so on. So.
Oh yeah. Well, just considering the fact that if you have a kid and you decide to give some kids, adamantium bone lacing, it's just make sure the kid is like already grown up.
Yeah.
At its peak.
Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah. Because
otherwise she's gonna, I don't know. It's gonna be painful just growing up.
Yeah. What will happen to her bones when they start to grow up?
They just, I don't know. Maybe they get tighter, like more intense, since it doesn't have any. It's gonna be deformed, but not deformed on the outside, but the inside.
She's going to have a lot of back problems in a young age.
Yeah, and well, I do know that it's the metal itself, even though it's just a thin layer, it's not that light. It's gonna. I know it's overall in her whole bone layers and evenly spread it up all among her whole body, so there shouldn't be any issues about how it's balanced. But she's gonna move around like it's freaking heavy, and probably the same thing will happen to her if the bones would be removed as for Logan in that one comic where his regeneration got better and he moved faster and healed faster, but he had this problem that he yet still keeps fighting like he's has those freaking bones. He constantly forgets that and shatters his own claws and so on.
Yeah, but I think when Magneto pulled out his adamantium, I remember that for a period of time his healing power got worse or something. It didn't function as
it
well.
was like over going with it was overworking with all that healing, considering most of the damage was on top of his skin and muscles and whatever tendons and fibers and whatnot. But my overall point is that I'm not sure if anybody have thought how painful her growth is gonna be.
Well, yeah.
And I'm not even nitpicking. I'm just wondering. Hey, just a little side note here. If anybody noticed.
That's true. Yeah.
And the other topic I want to that I'm gonna talk about is RPG elements called perception. As we know, some RPG rule mechanics have some sort of a concept of how the character perceives the surroundings, whether it be by hearing or sight. They're either separately or just with one attribute, telling how perceptive the person can be. Anyways, what most games have is that they only have a single skill that is called spot or listen or just perception or something like that.
Yeah.
Which means that
spot hidden.
Yeah. You notice things that other people wouldn't notice, and your eyes and ears and whatnot are gonna be really keen in that thing. But the truth is that I've talked about this with a psychology friend of mine in late 19th century, 1990 something, about this for quite a while, and he said that human perception doesn't work that way. There has been some tests among the students of psychology that they're heading through some psychological institute for a tour and so on, and they pass by some room that has lots of random stuff in it, a very versatile list of items. Let's say a skull or a chef's knife or something like that, really random stuff.
Yeah.
And they just they don't even stop in the room. They just say that this is a room blah blah blah, and moving on. And later, after a tour, the students of psychology of that college had to write up the items that they saw, 10 or was it 20, can't remember, but several items that they saw, remember, in the room. And it was interesting that, of course, most of the stuff that most people did notice was the freaking skull, because that's kind of like pokes into your eye. And but after that, people started to, their brain started to form items that were related to the bone, even though they did not exist, or depending on what kind of a background they came from, what kind of hobbies and whatnot they had. They started to invent stuff that was lying in the room, or they would imagine stuff like more than 50%, like more than 10 items from 20. Stuff that didn't exist, yet they would think that would fit the profile of office in a psychological institution. Which means when it comes to perception, a human mind plays a big role in it when creating false memories and false perception. People believe, their brains tend to believe stuff that do not exist, and people say out loud stuff that they think they say in the brain, but they what comes out from their mouth might be different. Like if you're saying I was riding with a cat, or you might say out loud that you're riding with a cat because your brain somehow is thinking about some feline creature, even though you were meant to say a horse. Slips happen.
Yeah, and well, I understand that memory works in funny ways, that you can't actually trust human memory, because, like you said, human mind creates false memories or adjusts some memories. I just recently thought about this, and and it's really funny to think about. We were sitting in a cafeteria in Prague, and I was thinking. I remembered that human mind works like that, and I started to think that how will I remember this moment, like after a year? Will it be totally something else or what? And, or will I remember it at all? Or
pics and diaries and video proofs.
Yeah.
Well, but considering how lazy human mind can also be sometimes, that's not gonna happen. Quarties, welcome to the stream. We're talking about human psychology perception, Prague at some point, and about Logan.
Yep.
Anyways, please continue. Were you finished?
Yeah, actually, I think I was.
Okay.
I guess.
So
yeah.
back to my point.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna name anybody, but some certain person in my role-playing campaign doesn't believe in such thing. Doesn't believe that human perception has is adjusted by background and the skills and so on. In my RPG campaign, I have adopted the thing that there is no such thing as a skill perception, where you can generally be as good as noticing flaws of some painting, and at the same time see every freaking a mine that has been hidden under the ground, and taste the small flavors of some very elegant and complex wine at the same time.
Or hearing frequencies in music and which frequency is not unwanted and
yeah,
so
indeed. And this actually comes from, it all comes from your set of skills that you have gathered throughout your background, your past, how your mind has been trained, and what have you, where your interest lies. Like me, as a restaurant chef, if I would check out some random picture, the most likely first thing that I would notice is somebody in a chef's hat, or a refrigerator, or just some food item or something like that, or something that is related to my interesting background. And you will most likely will see that there's a electric guitar in the background, or somebody has a t-shirt of Jimi Hendrix. Yes, it all comes to perception that lies from the background of the person, and what they actually see are things that their mind has been trained of. And answering your question, Quarties, why am I streaming to nobody? Because there is nobody on in the chat, in the stream. However, I believe that there will be some people watching this later, and they might just be busy considering it's summer and people are on vacation, or might be that some people just have forgotten about me. But nevertheless, there will be this will be left in history in some sort. We have grown immortal, and we will be noticed and seen and found as long as the YouTube servers live. Well, yeah, moving on. Anyways, this person does not believe that the background and skills affect the perception. Yet instead, it is the curiosity of surroundings that helps. Well, at that point, I explained that's why there is this attribute called perception. The attribute itself reflects how much person pays interest to surroundings with all the sounds and and what can be seen and what can be felt and so on. But it is also combined with the skill set that the character has. So that's why if entering a room, if I would be a character, I would have to roll the dice that have both the perception and cooking, so that I would notice that there is a smell of parsley in the air, and your character would roll perception plus music to notice that somebody's playing a trooper in the background. and what do you think about this?
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I also think that in RPGs altogether, of course, human mind and it's all of its components and all physical factors kind of have to be reduced somewhat.
Yeah,
Because
otherwise we would have a rule book that is the size of some whatever encyclopedia, instead of just people trying to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Because human is a very complicated thing, and human mind is a complicated thing. So you can't perfect. There is no way you could put that in a perfect way in a game, or at least it wouldn't be that entertaining, like you said.
Yeah, and it slows down the flow of the storytelling and game and so
totally.
on.
But there is a point to it, I think, that can be used in games, and it doesn't slow down the gameplay that much. That if you have a sort of, how you say it, the perception is divided in many factors, that doesn't slow down the game that much. So.
Yeah. How I have handled in my RPG campaign is that since I constantly see the set of skills that the characters have, and also I have to know the character as well as the player. We have to be familiar with the person, the character that we are playing with, like our own mind, our own pockets, and so on. And that helps the flow of the game move forward, because both the game master and the player know what is going on inside the mind of the character, and thus the action can go forward smoothly. Yeah. If the GM wouldn't know anything about the character, they would be constantly on different opinions on how things would go, and it might create situations where the GM actually is just arguing with the player how things should go, instead of trying to work together that how does the character think about the stuff. Have you noticed that in my games I always ask like a suggestive way that what do you think, how does the character think about this, do you think you agree, and so on.
I've noticed it. And it's good to think about those things, since sometimes it can be difficult to adjust your mindset to another mind, because your character is not you, it's another mind, and so he or she perceives things differently. And sometimes it's hard to understand that this person you are trying to represent might see this situation a whole lot differently than you are seeing it.
Yes, and as a GM, the task is pretty challenging, considering that when you're trying to run a game, you have several characters roaming and running around in the situation, and also constantly trying to think what the players' characters are seeing and thinking, having in their head, and what do the non-player characters also are thinking and doing at the same time.
Yeah.
And yes, it is challenging, but yet I seem to be quite somewhat successful about it, because I try to think about it in a large scale, that what is happening in this room, who's talking to who, and what are their thoughts.
Yeah.
So, well, basically what we're maybe saying here is that the person, the player who disagrees with us is, in our point of view, most likely wrong.
Yeah. And I was thinking that maybe sometimes, or usually, I don't know, the person you are really, the moral and all, it has to guide you in some way, even when you're playing another person. I think you can't shut it down completely, but
No.
but you can get into a different mindset, and when you've played RPG for many years, then you get better at it.
Yeah, or if you're like a supreme method actor, like let's say Johnny Depp, he has had several many different versatile types of characters he has acted, and I think somebody said that he stays in that character for quite a long time, and there are some actors who actually have stayed in those mindsets so such a long time that they forgot what they're really capable of,
yeah,
or not. Like this George Clooney, he said in one interview that somebody got hurt in a traffic accident, and people know him from some ER series, and he told people to stand back and he's gonna help the guy, and he really thought he was helping the guy. Then he just realized that, oh fuck, I don't know anything about CPR or ER. He said, sorry, my bad. And
God.
Yeah, and at the same time, there was this other person, the actor also, that saw that somebody's van was on fire, not a big fire, just starting there, and the poor guy who was trying to move with the van, kind of wanted to save his belongings inside the van, but the actor, since he has lots of background with car explosions, Hollywood, he kind of thought that it's gonna blow, so he told people that it's gonna blow, move away from the van, and people believed him, because he probably knows about stuff. He's been an action star and so on. So what actually happened is that they went further away from the van, and for 15 minutes they just stared at the vehicle, being on fire, and slowly the man's dear belongings just turning into ashes and dust and cinder.
Yeah.
And the van never blew up.
Yeah, because they don't explode, really.
Yeah, and it was really embarrassing for that guy. He was like, oops, well, sorry.
Well, he tried his best.
He tried. He really thought that it would be like that, and that's a good example of how a perception works. The guy perceives according to his background, and his background was unfortunately a movie actor.
Yeah,
where everything happening around him is just movie magics and illusions, while the thing that actually happened with the van was reality. Yeah, and I also, the other thing that I do in my RPG campaigns is that I rarely, ever rarely, usually never, tell about the surroundings in objective way. I never say straight that there are two guys in the room. I only tell how many guys the characters see, and I tell what the characters think they see. Like if there's a hidden door, I don't freaking say that you see a freaking hidden door or something like that. Or if nobody sees the sniper, I'm not gonna tell there's a third person in the room, but you cannot see it because it's hidden. Roll spot or something like that. I do roll out the perception plus stealth hide skill so that the characters have a chance of accidentally, look, having their eyes and ears spotting the thing that they weren't paying attention to.
Yeah.
If they would be on a mission, they would definitely be more aware of the surroundings and actively trying to perceive this hidden person because that's their job. But if they have no idea that there is that person, it's most likely going to be much more challenging and harder.
Yeah, true.
And I'm not sure if some players have realized that what I actually tell in my RPG is completely subjective.
But I think it's good because people perceive the world different way, and
it is. But it might create some awkward moments with people who have gotten used to playing with different sort of game master that would actually rule out the facts that what's in the room. Yeah, like if people are looking for is there an iron pipe in the room, I'm not gonna say if it's in the room or not. I just tell if they see one or not. Later, when the whole scene, the action is over, and they have all the time in the world to loot and look out for the stuff inside the room, then I can list out the whole inventory of whatever lies in that space. And I actually think I've had some moments with some players, not the players that have stayed actively in the game. It's maybe one, but it's always been challenging with this player anyways. That player even has trouble of perceiving things in a whole big picture, usually just concentrating mostly on own characters' points of views and screen time and so on, which is actually kind of a shame because our campaign is not meant to be entertained just for one player but the whole group. We are all viewers in that story, and I try to make those different scenes interesting for all of us. What was my point? Oh yeah, some people just don't realize that what I actually tell I'm not lying about what things are in the room, or am I constantly changing my mind? No. I'm just being subjective and telling what's happening in the surroundings from character's point of view. And I think you have so far for quite a long time, actually, ever since the first campaign, realized that is the case in my RPG campaigns.
Yeah,
At least I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Do you actually remember the first time when you noticed that I was telling things in a most subjective?
No,
point of view?
I can't say a specific moment.
Yeah, so you
I can't
kind of
remember.
like just grew up.
Yeah. I just adjusted to it. Your your games were and your GM style was a bit different, I guess, from which I had accustomed to, but I quickly started to like it because well, there's I understand that many people enjoy the rule things and the technical department of RPGs, but I myself I like more of the dialogue and the story itself.
Yeah, my RPG campaigns are the mood story driven, and everything is accumulating into that one scene and moment, and trying to bring out, emotions and good story and very cinematic style, very cinematic.
Yeah.
Time to time, I feel like I'm directing a freaking movie, and sometimes it's actually almost like it.
Yes, and it has created very strong scenes and good experiences, really.
Yes, there are moments when players leave the game with feeling that they were in some rave party and enjoying the time of their life, like they would be teenagers again, and sometimes they're just sobbing and crying of some lost fictional character that they held very close and dear for such a long time in the whole storyline.
Yes.
And in my philosophy with the whole thing, that characters, if there's death, it never should be just waved with ignoring the death. The death of a person, whether it's an NPC or a PC, should always be noticeable and memorable. It's even though if they wouldn't be big roles, you can see that the person who died was actually a person who had a life.
Nice. Well, and sometimes the cinematic nature of your RPGs, I think I understand it, and I think I understand when the scene is how would I say it, when the scene is ready and we shouldn't continue the scene anymore, and then some player says something and keeps going, which kind of, I think the mood
kills the flow.
Yeah.
And doesn't really necessarily add anything new.
Yeah. Well, when I think I kind of see it the same way you do, that okay, this is the good time to end the episode. This is the perfect ending, and sometimes someone doesn't understand it, and it's like, come on, let's end this already. It's perfect now.
Yes, there are moments that I feel like that. Okay, feelings have been hurt and tears have been shed, and there will be blood. This is a good spot to move on to the next one with a smooth ascension. But there's a mood killer that says, now hold on, my character has perception 3 and then this skill. Should I start spotting this and that, and how many bullets there were in the gun? And we're like, oh, come on, we had a moment here.
Yeah.
But hey, we kind of started to ramble about the game mechanics and so on. It happens. It happens in this stream easily, especially with a company that has has subject that we do like to share and talk about a lot. And it was just a matter of perception and blah blah blah, whatever, so on. We, like in a movie, we should be moving on to our main topic, because I think I already gotten my point through.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah. And what I wanted to talk about, and what actually reads in the whole freaking title of the of this stream, is that you visited Prague. You pronounce it Prague. It's supposed to be pronounced Prague, right?
Yeah.
For some reason, I always go Prague. But then again, I'm the person who actually pronounced the magic wand instead of magic wand. Silly me.
But,
Eve is furious about it.
Yeah, and well, if you don't know how to pronounce something, then you just can't know it, since you can't. Well, I don't know. In Finnish, it's kind of easy, because you just read it how it is written, but in English, it's...
Yeah, it could be bruh.
Yeah, yeah. For all we know, it could be bruh.
Yes.
So let's talk about bruh.
Yes, the city of bruh. City of bruh. What the hell are you doing to me? We both visited this famous Czech Republic city of bruh. Prague,
yeah.
People, Prague. And it is famous from... I think it's famous from its somewhat cuisine and local breweries and beers and so on. How do you see Prague in your point of view?
Well, I think, well, the beer, definitely. The beer is famous, at least in Finland. And, well, we know that Prague has cheap and good beer.
And food.
At least compared to Finland, like crazy cheap.
Yeah, well, then again, when you compare any country, almost any country, to Finland, everything is cheaper.
Yeah,
unless you're heading to Norway.
Or Iceland. But, well, yeah, that's true also. But I think also, like many big European capitals, it's known for its history and its cultural heritage. Well, the castle area and so on, people go there. There's like 1 million people there, which is kind of annoying, but on the other hand, the places are really awesome, so I guess you have to visit them when you're there, because well, it is worth it. It's a bit annoying that there's so many people, but that's usually the price you have to pay for tourist attractions. Because tourist attractions, after all, they are famous. Usually they are tourist attractions for a reason.
Yeah. When I went to Prague, it was... I didn't have any expectations other than beer. Which is interesting, because I'm not a beer person. I think the beer has this bitter bad taste that I dislike, that comes from oats, I think.
Yeah, I guess.
And malt and something like that.
Malt.
Yeah, and you love it. You love it. Especially the ones that have been roasted so that it actually becomes dark beer.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
And there's actually this thing that those beers I can actually tolerate somehow, because with the good dark beers, there is some sort of chocolateness and smoothiness to it. But I can still taste the oats and malts, and thus I just don't like it. Same thing with the whiskey, actually. The whiskey that is not made from corn. I just don't like that some taste that it has.
Yeah, but you're right about that. That many dark beers have this chocolate kind of taste to them.
Which is interesting because we were talking about perception. I might ask that: do you think it actually has, or do we actually think it has because somebody told us so?
Well, it could be both. Yeah, of course. There's always like descriptions that this beer tastes like that and that and that, and then you spot those things probably more easily.
Yeah. We're not even sure if sometimes they want us to imagine those tastes, but you know, as long as those tastes are good, I don't really mind. I don't really mind spotting tastes that taste good and yet do not really exist.
Yeah.
And also, I don't mind if people try to make experiences better with false, what's the word? Imaginary. Is that a word?
Imaginary.
Oh, you gotta love English.
Yeah. Imaginary in prayer.
I'm a girl of languages. Super linguistic ones. That's why I'm dating one. Actually, Ninochka is most of the times just rolling in pain when she hears about my linguistic skills.
Well,
like when I try to speak some Russian language, like and if there are people from Russia who speak Russia and are offended by this, I apologize, and constant reminder: it's not me, it's just the character. But
it's not me, it's you.
Why did I go?
Yeah.
Why did I go do that? That people don't harass little demon kids.
But probably best beer I actually tasted in Czech Republic was this chocolate beer. Can't remember the brand. It was some really small brewery.
So it was actually a chocolate beer?
Yeah, it was.
Huh.
I think, was it porter or stout?
I don't know. I don't even
It was
know
maybe a
difference.
chocolate stout, but well, I have a photo of it in my phone, so I would remember it. But well, yeah, it was really good. I bought it from, not actually from Prague, I bought it from Kutna Hora, which was this smaller town, like our train voyage from Prague.
Could be that we passed by the whole place with the train. We went to Blizen.
Okay.
To the brewery of Pilsner Urquell, and that's why we don't have any recollection of that city or town, because you know, for people who don't speak the local languages, the names of the stations are just random words.
Yes, of course. I can't remember any stations between Kutna Hora and Prague, because well, they just brutznindrits.
Same with the food. Yeah. I don't really remember what was what. Oh, I do remember and know is the sound it makes when it kills a man, and what it tastes like.
Yeah,
it
and
tastes
for
like
and
beats
for all
and
the
murder.
for all the American viewers, no, all the Europeans don't speak the same language. I could take the beer from the fridge now.
Oh yes, yes. Do go ahead. And meanwhile, I'm announcing here what type of stuff he's drinking. Not sponsored, but just out of curiosity. He is drinking Petrus Aged Pale Finnish beer, is this?
No, it was Belgian.
Belgian beer.
And it wasn't that good. Or
It wasn't that.
Like lemon?
Yeah, sour and lemony flavors. That's good for you. I didn't like it myself either. It was way too sour and lemony that it actually didn't remind beer that. Actually, it did have the taste of beer, but it tasted like the beer was covered with a way high amount of lemon juice, and it just tops on every other flavor strongly. And even though we had lemon fennel chicken as a pairing with a drink, we still could taste the sour lemony taste in the whole freaking drink. It was that lemony.
Yeah, it was a bit too much.
A bit too much, yes.
Yeah.
And it didn't even resemble the ancient drink called Two Dogs. I'm not sure if it even exists anymore. But Two Dogs was kind of like a lemon beer that didn't taste like beer at all. It tastes like a lemon soda.
You want to taste this one? Do you?
It's is bubbly, and its name is
Aldaris Porteris. It's a Latvian porter, and it smells kind of funny, but it's really good actually.
Oh, good lord. Oh, dear Gaia. Woo! It's it has a strong old taste of really strong grown alcohol, beer alcohol. You know, like the malts and the hops are really present and aged. And for people who like beers, it's probably good thing.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yes, I can imagine that people who actually drink beer do like it a lot. For me, it has all the taste that I dislike. Thus, I can recommend for people who actually drink beer.
Yeah, but it kind of like smells different and it tastes.
It does. I did notice that at first. I was smelling it and I thought that the smell was actually better than the actual taste, in my point of view.
Yeah.
Let me give me a sniff. Not that much foamy, as I would thought. But then again, maybe you know your pouring techniques. And
yeah, well, the porters usually aren't as foamy as stout.
Did you notice that in Prague, during your visit, that they have like at least 5 different styles of pouring the beers, and there are actually techniques and styles where you actually try to make as much as foam as possible.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I think at least, well, stouts need the foam, and well, yeah, I think foam is good in most beers. But well, the chart that I actually saw in one bar / restaurant in Prague was quite surprising for me, because the foamiest pouring technique had like 90% of foam and 10% of the actual drink, which made me think that, are there actually people who enjoy this? Is this a thing? Is this a real thing? I don't know. That sounds a bit too much. I like foam, but that sounds exaggerated.
I was surprised, because in Finland usually people are taught to pour their drinks to have as little foam as possible.
Well, that's weird also, because, well, the foam is real good. At least, well, not it doesn't fit in all beers, but in most dark beers it's quite good.
I myself have a very girly drink as usual. Summersby, apple cider, that actually tastes more like apple soda slash lemonade thing with lots of ice, ruining the whole flavor. Because I want it cold, I want it fresh, and I want it to taste as little as alcohol as possible. Because and it will most likely sneak up upon me because I am an Asian. I have an Asian heritage of biology. Thus, I do not have the enzymes that break up the alcohol, so it goes straight to my head.
Yeah,
I've been careful. The reason why I'm talkative is not because of the alcohol; it's because of my my company. It does help when I have company. My brain seems to be heading to the second gear already, and so many things to talk about. You can be proud about yourself because you are actually making this stream better.
Okay, I can just come and sit here.
Yes, with just your presence, you make me a better person.
Wow, a bit too much. That's like 90% foam. Bit too much. Dude, you made it weird.
So, you had different kinds of experience compared to ours. We just went to Blitzen for 1 day for the Pilsner Urquell brewery, and I did learn a lot about Pilsner Urquell, the brewing technique and methods and so on, and we also tried many restaurants, but because when you travel with me, the people around me, at least those who know me, tend to obligate the hold on, where up the responsibility of finding the restaurant in cuisine places to my hand.
Yeah, well, that's not a surprise.
Yeah,
really.
yeah, and it's actually interesting that all I need is just to take a look at the menu, and I can imagine how the components, ingredients, and so on are formed in the kitchen, and whether it's good or not. It's just a thing that you learn when being in a restaurant kitchen for 15 freaking years.
Yeah,
can't help it. It's actually something that resembles a lot in the perception thing I said. I see things that I cannot, unsee. My background is completely culinaristic, and no matter how hard I would try, I cannot not taste, the flavors in salmon as much as I try not to. I can just taste the small nuances. And for you, if you listen to music, you just can't ignore the things that you're hearing, because you most likely are hearing more than just average Joe who listens music casually.
Yeah, probably. But I also think it's, well, I guess we're off topic again, but I'll just say this. It also creates this kind of funny things, like I think I can appreciate a good pop song more than a regular person, since if I at least feel like I can perceive what are good hooks in it, and if its mix is good and so on. So
Yeah, and I just hit the jam. Oh yeah, this sounds good.
yeah, and well, a lot of people, like many of my friends who like metal music and so on, they're like always like when some kind of pop hit starts playing, they're like, oh, what kind of shit is this? And well, I'm interested to hear what kind of hooks they have, because pop music usually has, if the pop song is good, it has good hooks and these small nuances which keep the listener interested.
Yes, it has this element of what actually makes it good and popular.
Yeah. Most people can't just put their finger on it, I think. But
which I have to ask out of curiosity, have you listened to any songs from Justin Bieber in that point of view?
I think I only remember from Justin Bieber the song "Baby, Baby, Baby," whoa, baby, baby, baby.
No.
Yeah, I don't know any other songs from him.
I don't think I remember basically anything else than just the the chorus.
Yeah.
And
I'm
then,
not,
and there
sure
was
either.
actually some small meme where there was a lyrics of Frank Sinatra singing, a very wide, versatile vocabulary of lyrics, and then we have this baby, baby, baby. Oh.
Yeah. I think the same meme has been done with something like Queen's lyrics and like Rihanna's or something like that.
Oh yeah, 1 2 3 1 2 3. Well, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That.
But actually, I think Rihanna has at least one good pop song. I like Umbrella. It's
oh yeah,
kind of...
I like it too. I like. It's a sin for some people to hear this, but I also like the Baseballs version. I just can't help it. I like the Baseballs. There's this really old vintage style to it. I consider them as a cover artist, and YouTube has lots of cover artists that I appreciate and like a lot.
Yeah.
And the thing that works for me, I don't see it as a bad thing.
Yeah, well, if it works for you, then I myself personally don't really like them, but yeah. And Rihanna also has that one newer music video which is really awesome. Bitch better have my money.
I don't think I've heard it.
I don't remember the song really, but the video is awesome.
I was I think it was this week when I was at work and listening to a soundtrack, a playlist of Queen, and there were moments when I actually concentrated on the other part than just the chorus, and I noticed that the songs from Queens, they're not repetitive. They seem to address different topics in the song all the time, and they're not necessarily using the same word twice outside the chorus. And even in the chorus, sometimes they don't repeat the same chorus. It's their own section. Every section has their own lyrics, which is really interesting. It's it makes me feel like that whoever wrote the song in the band Queen actually saw a lot of effort to it.
Yeah, well, Queen's for certainly something else. They were really awesome, yeah. And well, they have a lot of progressive elements to their music, and like you said, they keep developing the song throughout its length, and well, and it's funny how they're able to create from such simple ingredients, sometimes something very genius and unique, like Under Pressure. It's the world's most simple bass riff, and it's goddamn awesome.
Yes. People, I do recommend you to listen to other songs from Queens other than Under Pressure, Bohemian Rhapsody, or what's that other one? The Monkey Business. I don't have time for the monkey business. You remember that song?
Actually, I don't.
Sometimes I feel I'm gonna break down and cry. So lonely. Lonely. That's actually one of the songs that I like most when it comes to Queen.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting. I think it was somewhat famous in the 90s and something like that. It was actually on the top charts of MTV UK for quite many weeks. But hey, we were talking about Prague.
Yeah, yeah.
So we already told about what's our perception and expectations about the whole city. Mine is constantly. My expectations are purely culinaristic.
Yeah.
And I let the other people who are interested of culture to civilize me of what I've been missed. There's nothing wrong with specializations, because that way people always get the best out of the trip. Everybody is specialized in some field.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and I of course kind of perceive Prague differently because this was third time for me there.
Oh, third time. I thought this was like second time for you.
No, it was third.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. And well, yeah. I like it there. This was the first time I was there during July. I've been there, I think, on May and June, and there hasn't been that much tourists yet there. But now there was a shitload of them.
Oh.
Like, really, really.
We went there during the spring.
Yeah.
Much. Do you remember, like, a few months before you did?
Were you there in, like, May or April?
I don't know. My sense of time is really messed up with this work. Anyways, it's I don't know, somewhere around 2017.
Yeah, yeah. But
when there was
spring,
no snow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was already almost like freaking summer there, and Finland just lost their last snows just
Yeah.
a day after we left Finland. So that tells about
Yeah.
Well, it actually doesn't tell about the time of the year. It actually tells about the weather of Finland.
Well, yeah, but this year has been weird even for Finland in weather, I think, because wasn't it snowing in like end of April, beginning of May, something like that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Exotic Butters was saying that. Yo GM, it's summer already. And I'm like, oh yeah, it just snowed yesterday in Finland.
Yep.
I wasn't even kidding. Oh, gee.
But it didn't snow that much, so it's summer in Finland.
Yes, there is a saying that summer of Finland is short and less snowful.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but Prague being in Central Europe is obviously a bit different with its climate.
It was for us. It was sunny, warm, but windy at the same time. The cool wind did help tolerating the heat that the other people perceive there. Me, as my biology is more moisture, humid oriented in tropical environment. For me, it kind of like it didn't open my second nostril yet, but it did made me feel that it was chilly, where the others were like sweating their ass off and
It wasn't that hot when we were there. There was rain in a few days, and
dang.
And well, the temperature was actually really good. I think it was somewhere around 21, 22 Celsius.
So tolerable, warm.
Yeah. So it was actually good for a lot of walking and so on. One of my friends from university had visited Prague in like mid-June, and she said that there was 35 Celsius there.
That's even hot for me.
Yeah.
That's like over 90 Fahrenheit.
Yeah. And one player in our campaign said that when she visited Prague in summer, there were 40 degrees.
Holy hell!
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those are the only temperatures that you can experience in Finland inside a sauna, and that's considered cold.
Yeah. The temperature record for Finland is measured in Joensuu 2010, I think, and it was 40 degrees.
Damn.
Yeah. It was the summer when in southern Finland too we had over 30 degrees.
Oh yeah, I think I remember. I felt comfortable.
Yeah. And all the other people were in pain.
So tell me about your cultural experiences.
Well, we visited the castle. I had visited myself a couple of times before, but it's always really impressive. The climb on the high hill, and when you can see the whole Prague from there, it's really
the long steps.
Yeah. But at first we climbed even higher. We went over to Petrin Hill and came
Peter's
down.
Hill,
Yeah, and came down from there, and then we visited the Saint Peter's Cathedral and the castle area. And
so you bought yourselves those tickets to enter?
no, we actually did. Sorry, I guess I said it wrong. We didn't go inside the cathedral. We just were outside checking it out.
Because I think we took a combo, and we did get to enter most of the stuff. Not all of it, because we had a selection of stuff that we considered interesting. Plus, I think we had a schedule and limited time.
Yeah. Well, the time always becomes the factor, no matter how much time you seem to.
Hello, Lewis. We're talking about Prague here.
And then on the second day when we were there, we took the train to Kutna-Hora, where there is this bone castle of what I can't remember the name. It was Bone Castle of Stulichin or something like that. But
lots of consonants.
Yep. But if you Google Bone Castle, you'll find it.
Yeah,
it's in.
Don't typo the R in it. You will get a different type of castle.
Yeah, but well, it's this. I'm sorry, did I say castle? I meant church.
Oh,
church.
Yeah.
Bone church. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but anyway, it's a church which has bones and skulls of 40,000 different people stored in it. And they've made these kind of decorations from the bones and so on. It's really impressive, and at the same time really unreal, and I guess it's a.
I think it's just a good use of resources.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, not wasting any materials.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, it was created because first there was, the plague, the Black Death, which. And
Louis, we're talking about the city or place in Czech Republic.
Yeah.
We both visited Czech Republic different times, but we're just comparing experiences here. But please go on, Jake.
Yeah. So I think there was like 30,000 plague victims in the church, and I don't remember the timeline, but at some point when they built the church, it was built on this cemetery, and they needed the room for the church, so they took out the bones from the graves, and they stored the bones in the church. and at some point, well, there were some battles, and like 10,000 people died, and okay, we'll put the bones in the church. And in like 1800s or something like that, some royal family hired someone to make decorations from all the bones. So
I can imagine it. Honey, are you gonna do anything about the bones? Soon. I'll clear them on tomorrow, Monday.
Yeah.
Something like that. So, no, you're clearing it out now. You're gonna hire somebody who's gonna make some beautiful shit out of this. I cannot stand it. It's constantly just blocking my room to my a shoe closet or something like that.
Yeah, but anyway, it kind of makes sense if you're storing bones and remains of 40,000 people. I think it gets kind of crowded or something. so I guess you'll get the feeling that maybe we should do something with these things.
You freaking hoarder.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might find these useful someday. It's like the person who owned the place was some RPG player, or a a gamer. Considering I might need these items.
Yeah,
I might need these items someday.
Yep. But well, it's interesting, and it kind of reflects a feeling that, well, this is all that will be left behind.
Didn't Paris, France, do something similar?
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe they have
The catacombs.
Yeah. Don't they have these catacombs which have some bones
filled
and skulls
with bones, and
yeah,
they are like chambers that people aren't allowed to get in because they might fall down or get lost or something like that.
Yeah.
They have even made movies about that subject. I think it was something that there is a portal to hell.
Okay.
Somewhere there. It was an interesting movie. I think it was called Down Below, something like that.
Haven't seen.
I do recommend. It's it has nice nice visuals. And it's not one of these jump scare things. It's more like from their point of view, seeing stuff, because they start to see things from their past and sins, and it is really cool. It's really cool.
I'll have to remember that.
I'll try to find it out in Google and put it in your WhatsApp or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, you had that sort of experience, and I just our group just went for the scenery. We just move it around and just thinking about my tactics, what the hell I'm going to do with this item.
Okay.
I guess I'll just keep on playing until I'm a zero die. Yes, our experience was completely mostly sightseeing, and we did went to the highest hill in Prague, and we didn't even go to the top. It's way too much of a climb, and we didn't even buy the elevator there. Instead, we chose to walk all the way up.
I think we're talking. Isn't it that Petrin hill?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because there's the elevator too, but the line was really long. So
Really long, because,
so
you
we
know,
just climbed.
People are lazy and they don't wanna. They wanna save time and they don't wanna spend their energy. So instead, they wanna waste their time in a line and waste their money on that one. It depends on how do you prioritize.
Yeah, but
stuff.
I've went with that elevator, whatever you call it, thing.
It had a funny name.
Once.
I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I can't either. But it was a fun experience that as well, because the climb is really, really...
Not so steep.
What?
Not so steep.
Steep.
Yeah.
Is the steep like...
It's the descent is low. It doesn't go like a fall, but instead it goes like smoothly. Like it's like you're moving
it's kind
forward,
of smooth,
but with a small downhill.
Well, it's kind of smooth, but kind of like okay, wow, at the same time. But well, yeah. When we were there in May, a couple of years ago, there wasn't that much line, so we just walked in and there were like few people plus us there, which is kind of weird thinking that now when we went there the line was huge.
So you were also with the sceneries, and how was your culinaristic experience? You already told me, but of course the viewers want to hear about
yeah. Of course. Some bad and some really good. On the first day there, we kind of made the mistake of not looking the place, beforehand. So we just were really tired and really hungry, and were just like, okay, we'll go there because we don't want to.
And you do the same mistake as most hungry and tired tourists do. They just go for the closest place.
Yes, because we thought that, well, I've experienced many times that when you're on a trip and you haven't decided on the place early on or beforehand, and when you try to look for a place when you're hungry and tired, it doesn't lead anywhere. It's only frustration and and yeah, well, we went to this burger place, and well, like I told you before, I think I'll rate the burger like 2 out of 5 stars, and the sweet potato fries like 1 out of 5, because well, they
were
I don't
wet and soggy.
Yes,
and
they were kind of almost burned, but they weren't crispy at all, and they were really, I don't know, icky and
a total failure of
yes. And I was a bit interested of the burger because the menu said it's aged.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, it did. Oh. But I don't know, that I think that the patty was really dry and
damn, they must have overcooked it or something like
that.
Yeah, was it even medium?
No, it wasn't.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Dang it. You're supposed to have those freaking medium. I mean, it is a waste of dry aged meat if you don't.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all the burgers on the paper sounded really, really delicious, but it really wasn't. Then on the second day we were at, well, actually the first evening we arrived at around 9 p.m. so we didn't have that much time. We just took pizza from some place. The second day was this burger place, and after that we went to Kutna-Hora, and there was actually this really good traditional Czech restaurant. And
this is your first experience of actual Czech cuisine instead of eating just pizza and hamburgers.
Can't remember if I've eaten Czech food the times before I've gone to Prague. Maybe not. Or maybe I have. I'm not sure. But, well, this one is clear on my mind since it was such a short time ago. But, yeah, I took some ribs and they were really good, and you
told them that they just fell off from the bone.
Yeah, you just need to look at it and the meat fell out of the bone almost. and I don't remember
that sounds like some super minute powers.
But it was really good, and I don't remember what Petra ate. It was some kind of pork steak. I tasted it and it was good. It was good.
Not dry?
No, not dry at all. Not well. This one wasn't.
In that case, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, seemed like it. Yeah, and it was like twice as cheap as the place before that. I don't remember how much we paid for the food, but it wasn't really anything.
The thing that I really do love about Czech Republic is the price level, and even though it's filled with meaty cuisines, they do appreciate the meat, and most of the places do know how to handle it. They take their dry aged stuff seriously, and that's why I even linked you the restaurant about the dry aged steakhouse in Prague.
No.
But as you said, it was too pricey for your budget. So
it was, cause
even though it was cheap in Finnish standards.
It probably was. The steaks were cheaper than in Finland, but still, yeah. But one regret I have is that, well, actually, two regrets. I didn't taste Prague ham in any place.
You should have.
Yeah. You did you taste it?
Only at there was this. Well, we went close to this market place.
Yeah, I think I saw the same place, and close to the market square, and there were this really big piece of ham. The guy was frying.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, I kind of regret that I didn't taste that one.
Well, we considering how much people your group and my group are on the move most of the time, there aren't that many chances of stopping still for some place and experiencing something that you actually spot.
Yeah.
And because people have sort of schedule, and it's generally a good idea to actually trying to follow it. Where's my bomb? There you go. Hey. Speaking of which, where's Green Bomb? Huh? Where's Exotic Butter? Where is everybody? Where did Lewis go? Huh? Yeah, the ham. It's definitely something that you want to have your mind on next time you're gonna visit, and just walking past by and seeing that moist dribbling from that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It looked really delicious.
And the price, it wasn't bad at all, and since it looks like they have done that thing for ages, I do believe that they know how to handle their business. They know how to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Our experience, food experience, was we already planned ahead some places that we want to visit, and when we went to Pleasant, the place wasn't open yet. It was like 1 hour or hour and a half before it was open, and our schedule was tight. We had to return back to the train station, and so we went for plan B, and there was this other steakhouse that we saw, and damn, that place was small, but the quality of the place was really high. You could definitely know it because the place had its own store shop where they sell their sausages separately and whatchamacallit, things, ribs and so on.
Yeah.
And they also had, like, they use, of course, a real charcoal grill, which is something people should definitely keep an eye for every time if you're going to grill something, eat somewhere outside, and see it's gonna be grilled. Make sure it's charcoal grilled, not not grilling with gas. I know there's a saying, now I'm grilling it with gas, but that's for efficiency, not for the quality.
Mm-hmm.
And we were positively surprised about the quality of the meat there. It was superb stuff that you usually don't see in Finland at all. But what actually surprised me more was the quality of service. Because usually in many places, when people recommend something, they try to sell out their most expensive stuff and so on. But this waitress, she was like, the coffee that you're trying for, it's not really taste bad. And I asked her, what about this? I wouldn't recommend it. It's it's not that good. And then I went for, what about this ginger tea? Oh, that's actually one of the best things we have in the menu. And holy fuck, what the hell is this? Holy, ooh, I never seen this. What the hell is this thing? Oh, guess I'll figure it out at some point, unless I just die away. Anyways, what was I saying?
You were talking about waitress who.
Oh yeah.
Stuff.
When the tea actually came, that was like they make the tea. You shoot through it and it's a prismatic thing. Oh, okay, now I get it. Different effects. Anyways, that tea, ginger tea that they made themselves, has been one of the best ginger teas I've ever had anywhere. It was so freaking smooth, and you could taste the ginger, yet it wasn't overpowering, but really creamy and smooth. I don't think I will forget that experience easily. And I was so awed about the experience that I had to pass on the cup and tell people to, take a sip.
Yeah.
Have a drink. And they were, this is good. And everybody was, really. You should have seen the faces on them. Everyone was surprised. And the meat, generally, every piece of meat had really good marbling and well, when you're in a Czech Republic, you definitely have to look on for the beef, if you are a friend of beef. If you're a vegetarian or something like that, you're gonna be having a tough time looking for food that fits your diet.
Yeah.
Especially if you're gonna be really strict about it, and you haven't bothered to look for those specific restaurants.
Yeah, I've heard one friend of mine lived there for 6 months, and she said that there starts to be a lot of more vegetarian and even vegan places in Prague, but it's still like most of the places don't understand what what it means to be a vegetarian or vegan for that matter. They're like, oh, so you're a vegetarian, so like chicken or fish or something like that?
Oh yeah, in Asia, like Thailand, it goes like, I don't need any animal products. Okay, what about blood? No animal products. Okay, how about this hamster? No, nothing that is still alive. Fish sauce? And boy, they use a lot of fish sauce in almost everything.
Yeah. But yeah, she also said that a few vegan places in there are actually kind of good.
Yeah, I bet, because the competition isn't that bad. They have to make it good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they lose their only customers.
Yep. And yeah, what else? Well, we also ate at this other Czech traditional restaurant. It was in Prague, and well, it wasn't that good. I actually ate ribeye there, and well, of course the steak is good, but I think
medium rare.
Yes, but it wasn't as good as I hoped for.
Oh, I have spoiled you. I have definitely spoiled you.
I blame you.
Yeah, so what do you think was the problem with the steak?
I think maybe the piece wasn't that marbled. It didn't have really much fat in it.
Oh, shame.
Which, yeah, a real shame. And, well, for starters, it didn't have much salt in it, but of course you can add it yourself, and I did, and it made it a bit better, but, well, it was okay, but it wasn't anything to write home about. So yeah, and then we ate at this pizzeria, which was really, really good. It was like really Italian place. The pizza was really like Italian. Like
yes, and the ingredients, the toppings on the pizza, you said that had very, very Italian style of toppings.
Yes.
We're talking about pancetta and mozzarella and stuff like that.
I understood that they used real Italian mozzarella and yes.
Yeah, you can definitely taste it when it comes for you.
Yeah,
and
when I took the first bite, there was only I tasted crust and the cheese and the tomato sauce, and I already understood that at that point that wow, this is really, really good.
And did you actually remember the name pancetta?
Yes,
from our experience. Yeah,
yes.
We went to Pizzarium this one day.
That's why I took the pizza with pancetta on it, because I remember it was good, and I remember you recommending it. So.
One of our experiences in food experiences in Prague was that it was one day when we didn't really have plans yet where to eat, but I had my eyes on this medieval style restaurant. It's not a medieval restaurant, it's a medieval style restaurant.
Yeah.
Where most of the entertainment doesn't come from medieval times. It was a mixture of bloop, bloop, bloop. I'm gonna kill myself soon. It was like a mix of, damn it, mix of a little bit of Pirates of the Caribbean and fire jugglers and belly dancers and everything that doesn't come in medieval times. But the point of the whole trip was that I saw the menu consisting of traditional Czech cuisine, and unlimited drinks. Good for those of my company who actually appreciate the beer and wines and so on. I think I had myself just a small sip of white and red wine, and I don't think I touched it that much as people who usually drink drink stuff more.
Yeah. I don't understand wine. I thought about it when we went to this Italian pizza place that maybe I should try red wine with the pizza, because it kind of feels like that maybe you should drink red wine with that kind of fancy pizza.
Red wine actually has this interesting effect when it comes to tomato, that it at its best it can actually enhance the flavors of tomatoes.
Okay. So yeah, I guess that's why I have the impression. But well, I drank beer.
Well, which isn't wrong at all. If it works for you and it's refreshing, go ahead.
Yeah.
It's and considering how hot it is, it might be even better as an experience than some room temperature wine.
Yeah, maybe.
Because what we actually need as an experience would be a tour guide of wine. Have a row of different wines in front of us, and somebody who has expertized themselves with the wine and actually can tell that what the hell we're supposed to be tasting at.
Yes, that would be actually kind of interesting to try to understand that what people are tasting and feeling in it, and that would be really, really interesting. So yeah, like you did for me with the salmon.
Yeah. It's if some people don't know, it's actually really interesting that different parts of salmon can taste differently, even though it's the same animal and it's just different muscle groups and so on. It was a enlightening experience for Jacob back then.
Yeah, it really was. I guess I hadn't thought about how different it can taste in different parts of the animal, and
that's why beef as a big creature it is, something like 20 corgis. so there's many big meat muscle groups that act differently, taste differently, has different texture to it.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed it when we tasted the different parts of the salmon and so on. It was really enlightening and good.
Yes. Our experience in the medieval restaurant was, if not counting those drinks, it's a shame that they didn't have any meat. I was hoping for honey meat or anything medieval, but because it actually wasn't a medieval restaurant, but medieval type entertaining restaurant. I got what they gave, and what they actually gave us was traditional Czech Republic cuisines. Some of them, like pork knuckles. The big fatty muscular group around the from below the wrist of the animal all the way to the elbow. That's I think in Germany they're called Schweinhacks or something. Cross XL, please take a comment, write a comment and tell me how wrong or right I am. And Czech Republic cuisine is really famous from that. It's a big hunk of meat, but sometimes people either share it or just just everybody has their own. I believe you would be a type of person who would own its own, you know, pork knuckle, and after that you would ask, so what are you guys eating? We could choose whether we eat chicken or duck, chicken and duck, or the pork. I chose the pork because Czech Republic is known for that thing. It was it had some crispy parts to it, as it should, but considering that they're feeding amounts there with tight schedule, it didn't get that level of crispiness as it should have had. But then again, the crispy porks that they sell in Germany, I think they handle the skin with the beer, which makes it somehow even more crispier. So there's something we should both keep our eyes open when it comes to when visiting, you know, Germany.
Yeah.
Or Czech Republic again.
Yeah. I actually thought about that I want to go to Berlin at some point again, because I really like that city. It felt really really cozy. I don't know. The overall feeling of that.
Yeah, especially after that freaking wall was ripped down.
Yeah. But yeah, well, I didn't go to as much record stores as I would have liked to. I visited one record store, tried to visit two others, but they were both closed when they shouldn't have been closed or something like that. In the castle area there was this place called Music Antiquariat, and it said in the door that it is open from like 10 to 6, but they were closed at like 5:30.
Dang.
And
they were thinking like, nobody's gonna come here.
yeah,
anyway.
yeah, probably. Yeah. But
we actually had one record store very close to our hotel, and I was thinking about you when I saw the record store and thinking, oh, would you be the one who visits that? Because it was constantly open, and some people went in and out, and sometimes the owner would come out for a smoke and wonder if there's gonna be any people visiting the place.
Yeah, I usually like to visit different record stores when I'm in a new city to me, or when I'm, you know, abroad.
So you're not afraid that they'll be dubbing all the voice acting all the songs on top of the?
No, of course not. Yeah, that.
Some countries do that. It's a fact. Check out from the internet. I'm not lying here.
Yeah, the voice acting, but in music, I haven't heard anyone doing it.
I
that would be interesting.
I've heard many times, but then again, I guess I bought those CDs from a street vendor.
Yeah.
who lost half of its teeth already. He was selling his own teeth too, now that I remember. Shady people. My experiences truly are different from yours.
Yeah. And well, we went to this flea market, and
I hate those. I get itchy every time I go there. Bad joke. Continue.
Yeah. Well, there were some vinyl I browsed through, but nothing that I would have bought. But I bought one vinyl from this one record store I visited earlier, so yeah.
And if somebody's wondering why this guy is constantly buying some old music that can probably be found from internet for free, he's a music person, and there's this thing about collecting vinyls.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I feel like if I hear a music that I really enjoy, I get this urge that I have to get this in physical format. I don't get the same feeling from it from listening to from internet.
It might be superstitious, but there is a difference to having a product that has been turned into a bunch of ones and zeros and traveled across different servers onto your laptop by some multimedia corporation that sells them on a big scale stuff, compared to that you have a vinyl that has been almost personally handled by some person in a studio, so that you can actually almost feel the essence and the presence of the artist.
Yes.
Close there, and yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah, and I feel like well, this is just personal opinion, of course. I don't feel that people who listen to only digital formats that they would be somehow worse listeners than I am, but I just, this is my personal preference, that I feel like when I listen to physical formats, when I take the record out of its sleeve and put it on the player and look at the cover art and browse to the booklet and
so. The smell also.
Yeah.
The touch.
I feel like I appreciate the music more like that.
It does have this some sort of different touch to it, like.
It's sort of a ritual, and human beings, after all, they like rituals.
It reminds me from our grilling experience. It's not just making food on charcoal to get have better flavors. It's also a social gathering.
Yeah.
Sometimes, unfortunately, there are people gathering that are not. Damn it. Not welcome. Like you.
Yeah, I'm not welcome at my own
Yeah, what
home.
the hell are you doing in your own grill party, anyways?
Yeah.
You think you own the place? You think you're the you live in that? No, you got the joke. So that was our somewhat experience on the Prague, and it's kind of a place that we will most likely be visiting again and again and again, because it's so close. Well, not so close, but quite cheapish from Finland to go there, and the level of the cost level of buying things is really cheap. Like you said, it's only like 10 euros for a freaking ribeye.
Yeah.
We're not gonna pass on that pass on that experience. And also, fuck. And also, I don't find any other excuses. Oh, of course, there's food and
yeah, and of course all the history and stuff.
Oh, that too.
And well,
I think I saw on Facebook the reason why you went there. It had something to do with the premiere of that one silly movie.
No, it wasn't premiere.
Yeah, that's the funny part. It wasn't even a freaking premiere. What a bunch of losers.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, well, it was.
Yeah, because I really don't, as I said on Facebook, I really don't know that many people who would actually go out for a trip just because they saw a movie 5 years ago.
Yeah, well, I guess it has to do with the fact that it was also our first date, so...
Oh, that's just a coincidence.
Yeah, of course. The main thing was the cabin in the woods. Of course. Thank you to Sweden. I love you forever.
If you guys are thinking that you're not going abroad because you saw Cabin in the Woods some years ago, you should reconsider your priorities in life.
Yeah.
You should start. It's a nice habit. Just check out what's the date of some movie that you saw some long time ago and say, hey, it has been 8 years since I saw this movie. Let's go to China.
Yeah, or watch The Cabin in the Woods today and go to a trip a year from now or something.
Yeah, I actually counted that it's gonna be 6 years in next November 11th. From appearance of premiere of Skyrim, and I should celebrate that somehow. So by maybe visiting Prague, because Skyrim.
Yeah.
What an interesting excuse for. Holy God, you ugly son of a. Nah, you're pretty. See, those people wanna hug you. Hey.
And I remember that I think the Finnish premiere for first X-Men movie was 1st of September.
You're talking about 2000? The one where they had this quite silent Sabretooth?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was a big thing then. It was
huge for me, like...
So many expectations.
Finally.
So many expectations.
Yeah, and to be honest, it isn't really that good of a movie when you look at it now. But back then, it was really, really impressive, and it felt so good seeing it.
And in the end, it didn't even turn out that bad.
No, really. It didn't. I was really like in ecstasy when seeing it.
Hey, you remember what happened when I asked you if you'd want to make 2 short streams less than an hour or just 1 stream less than an hour?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. And I know what has happened, at least.
1 hour 58. 1 hour 58. So I think it's about time that you prepare for whatever you're doing, and I'll prepare for tomorrow's morning shift.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. And luck is something that I definitely need, considering how messed up the situation is at work. 1 sick leave, leaving only 1 professional chef there, and the rest are just either not graduated from the culinary school, or just graduated a few months ago. We're really falling behind here.
Shouldn't you be like, but come to eat at our place anyway?
Yeah, sure. Go. Actually, check out the burger we have this week. It's a miso burger. I thought about the concept of having a miso mayonnaise with all that that soybean that has been fermented. It should add more savory taste to the beef and cheese and bring out their good musky qualities, and it actually works. We have pickled white radish and cucumber in it, bittersweet, so that it balances with the salty savory miso mayo. and bunch of chives to add small flavors to it. It's this week's special. Not sure how long it lasts, and not sure how long I'm gonna stay in that freaking place before I'm heading towards a burnout. So thank you, Jacob, again for visiting. I hope you would visit again someday. It's always nice to have a chat, and as you can see, the amount of chat we get just escapes from our hands.
Yeah, yeah, it seems like it.
We go. Time flies when you're having fun.
True. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Do you have anything to say to your viewers? Like, fuck you?
I was thinking about that, but go home. I don't like you.
There you go. Jacob Cloud. And hit the like, hit the sub, hit the share, hit the bell, and check out the Patreon, Facebook, Twitter, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.